Hey, greetings, blessings, salutations, and love. Once again, welcome back to Chats with Jack. I am Jack Talcott, and we are here to talk about whatever happens to come up today. Having a little fun today with the thumbnail, inspired by Just Frank and created by the talent that's with me. Having some fun. Sexy Sunday. I thought about going that direction for the topic today, but then given some of the characters I've seen in the past and some of the patterns I've seen on YouTube, I thought, maybe not, Jack. Let's stay away from the sexy topic, at least for a little bit. Your reputation's already got a few hills to climb. Oh man, this life is so interesting. It really is. I have dropped the link for those who may stumble through and wish to join at this time. Blessings to you guys. I appreciate you all. I have some ideas, but this journey I'm living in, it's just so remarkable. It's fascinating to me. Yesterday after the stream, I went over to a different stream and met some other characters. And then one of the characters apparently went on talking about me for quite a bit again. And I've noticed who I'm talking about is this, what's his name? Sanity Project or something like that. He's a guy that's been in some of these other YouTube company things, but oh yeah, dude, our poll, thank you. I totally forgot. Thank you for the reminder. Let's get something, right? A little cheer going or something. If we got it, may as well use it. Except I don't remember how to do it just on something like that. Actually, that's what I'll do. That's who it was. This guy, Steven from Sanity Machine. Anyway, just like a bunch of others I've seen. Guy's never spoken to me, but he was quick to brag about how he's made a video of me already. And then he wanted to continue with a bunch of other fucking imagined narratives about me. It's like, holy cows, man. And then I tried reasoning, but regardless, let me get to the point. The absurdity of my life. I wake up today in a wonderful, beautiful mood. I click on the YouTube eventually and see a stream, and sure enough, there's my damn name being talked about. So I'm obviously in the minds of other people. That's for sure. But I'm in the minds of some confused people, or the people there's a lot of confusion around me. That's what I've been realizing. Well, yeah, dude, I don't get it. You know what? Praise God, it was my own idea that I could reason there, but no eggnog backstage. I didn't put out much for the guests. Not in the backstage area. I try to honor the guests. Blessings to all of you who are stumbling through, finding your way through this adventure. I truly do appreciate it. there's a lot of people on the online stuff that got this ego that just like, wow, man, holy cows. But that's all right. We're all in this same life trip together. Eventually, I've got faith. I really got faith that most people are going to start figuring some things out. I was thinking about this as well, my friend. Bringing back the sexy Jack. I've allowed myself to get a little soft. Haven't been working out for a while, lifting the weights or anything. And when I choose to bring more attention to my appearance again, I think God's blessed me. I know that. And when the new images come out, the sexy Talcott instead of the crazy Talcott. How you doing today, Dominic? What's going on, my friend?
So I'm doing pretty good, Jack. How you doing, buddy?
Feeling blessed.
I'm glad to hear that.
Hey, as far as topics today, though, the only things I had written down really was thought a good conversation could be the fear of speaking up or the fear of staying silent. We all experience those different things within us. And then the other is, well, that's right. I didn't get into my day. Just talked about my displeasures. I got on a call with that Sanity project. Doggone, his name is escaping me again. Anyway, Charles Eisenstein, him and his group got on a group call with them, the Sanity Project, discussing ways. Well, it was mostly discussing their course, but really the purpose of this group, it's all heart-centered. People who are curious and wanting to know how to heal themselves, how to bring more life through themselves into the world, how to bring more healing to the world. There's a lot of cool organizations, a lot of cool communities that are forming and that are available for us to connect to. What I took away from that Zoom call, though, something Charles said I wanted to consider more: reverence. Reverence being the result of seeing the truth of another's being. And I thought that's an interesting perspective. And our world, and it was brought into, I believe, the concept, it was in the context of how our world has lost reverence. There's a reverence that is lacking within the main processes of community and life. Hoping to talk to that guy one day. Hoping to talk to a lot of people in this lifetime. So then my other thought, and this came from participants in the group, and I remember this myself, being in groups and being nervous about speaking up, about being the one to ask a question, because those insecurities, don't want to be the odd one, the weird one. But that fear of speaking up, I think it might be kind of common. And maybe it is and is not. I bet each of us have different environments and different topics where we're comfortable speaking up. And then there's other places where we might have a fear and insecurity and anxiety of speaking up. But those fears of speaking up, I think they prevent us from shining. They also prevent us from learning. And that fear of speaking up is why I believe the world is the way that it is. Because obedient employees and children are taught, do what you're told. So if we wanted to change the world, I know I'm not alone in that dream, in that hope. I know I'm not. But you know, today, last night we got a nice blanket of snow. It was a heavy one though, too. So friggin' wet and back's a little sore cleaning off the driveway. But this life is such an adventure. It's almost an amazing dream. The perfection of the way things are, it's all around us. And that's what I've been realizing for myself and listening to other, I don't know what the label is, other teachers, other gurus, spiritual people, listening to listening to the wisdom that's available from others. It confirms everything I've been learning and feeling for myself. The the way of being for humans, for humanity, the way of being us is far more simple than we've convinced ourselves to believe. Because we only exist in the moment, right now. Any fear from the mind, imagination, or anger and depression from memories, those are symptoms of an out of control mind. That's something I've realized for myself. If we want to find peace within ourselves, we've got to start within ourselves, with honesty and humility. This was where my thoughts went regarding the topic, the concept of reverence, having a true respect for something or another, life in general. With reverence and respect, it does imply a humility in the self. And when we make ourselves, when we defer ourselves consciously, conceptually, into nothingness, well, it's really easy to revere and respect all that the world offers to us. And then see, you think good thoughts like that, and holy cows, the world just rewards through Henry the producer. Bless you, brother. The love is returned, man. The love is returning. The love is returning to this world. How about that? Can you convince yourself to accept that love is returning to this world? Because if you can believe it, you might feel it. And if you feel it, you'll see it. You'll know it. It'll be all around you. And then when the love is all around you and it fills you within you, and you're just walking around with so much love to give, ready for whatever comes into your life, knowing that, hey, whatever the world brings for me, I'm going to love it. I'm going to get through it because I'm going to love being me while I do it. And, oh, come on now. I'm going to get into the chat here for just a moment. Hardhat, I love you, brother. You're no victim. I saw you trying to manipulate me to, yeah. there's no reasoning with Tommy when he's like that. And if you were, and it looked to me like you wanted to argue with him, and I didn't see that in the back. So you're welcome to join Hardhat. I got love for you. I really do. What was this one? You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. Thank you, Just Frank. That is beautiful. Sometimes it's hard for us to remember. Sometimes we're just stupid. Okay? Not saying you are. I'm saying I used to be stupid. And I'd forget. It was okay to love myself. I had so much love, so much aching love to share with others. I love so deeply. And then myself, yeah, whatever. Fuck Jack. And that's why I was miserable, because I was confused about what was important in my life. And I think what is important in all of our lives, it's twofold. God and our relationship with God. Those might be the two most important things for us to try and understand. But it all happens through us. I was thinking about this earlier, and I've shared this elsewhere. I want to throw these ideas again into the realm of consciousness. So I believe that in the future, with the benefit of hindsight, humanity collectively, we're going to look back on the past and the words of the Bible in different ways. And I think what we might see is that the Antichrist that rises, it's through the awareness of the masses that we'll realize the Antichrist is us. Man. Man is the beast that opposes God's will when it's not in service of love. And it makes sense too, because the Antichrist, the devil that's within us, there's a devil within all of us. We know this. The one that's going to say, the one that's going to cheat, the one that's going to lust, the one that's gonna. There's a devil within us all. It is the Antichrist. And also within us is, well, the universe. Everything exists within. And so the Antichrist is within, as is the Christ. And we get to choose when we remember. And I'm wondering, I've wondered in the past if it is like our higher spirit or our soul, or perhaps God's design. Which I've wondered, what decides what we are allowed to remember and what we are allowed to forget? I mean, I didn't choose consciously to remember some things, and yet I carried those things just ingrained in my head. And then I don't remember choosing to forget things, but we all forget things, right? It's just part of the process, I guess. So we've got ignorance to what we know, ignorance to what we remember, ignorance to what we've learned. We've got a lot of ignorance in each of us. And I think that ignorance within us, well, I don't want to speculate too much. I was going to say it's either the child of God or it is the Antichrist that thinks it knows, that thinks it is in control, that thinks it can judge, that thinks it can order. I'm kind of mocking the governments and the supervisors and bosses that I've remembered and experienced. We are living in this world that, oh man, Truth is so far stranger than fiction. Truth is so amazing, so delightful, so incredible, so joyful when you understand the ways of love. And I tell you what, joy, this is something I was inspired of earlier. I don't mean to bounce around so much. Sanity Project, that clown wanted to paint the picture, the narrative that I only pay attention to panels. And I'm like, you don't listen to me then, because I'm like constantly saying I go elsewhere for inspirations. One of the inspirations from today was just in my mind. And that story. The joy of being on the spiritual path as you pursue God's essence, the knowing of bliss and infinite potentiality, infinite power. In the exploration of that, in the silence and stillness of meditation, of thought, of focus, of experience, of awareness, there's a joy. There's like a profound, deep joy of just, it is a bliss, a nirvana that's available to be found within. And the more, and this is the point of the inspiration I received from earlier, is that this society we've got, a lot of people, I used to do this a lot, we're spinning our wheels, chasing happiness, chasing entertainment. We're trying to distract ourselves from the life we're living because we're not loving who we are or what we're doing. But if we love who we are and what we're doing, I froze out. It wasn't time to share that. Oh, hey, thank you for that correction. Yep. I don't mean thank you. I'm talking about Sanity Machine. He's a machine, all right. I don't know about the sanity part, but hey, I'm kind of yes. There's a great distinction between the Sanity Project and Sanity Machine. I've experienced both recently, and I highly recommend the Sanity Project with Charles Eisenstein. Anyway, the joys of bliss and nirvana, the spiritual path, the connection of surrender, and yet the surrender becomes an empowerment. There is so much for us, brothers and sisters, to discover in these lives we are living. Hey, here's a wonderful man. Welcome, dear brother, Mike Doe. what? What the? I'm assuming that was not intended. Um, I don't know. Holy cows, man. Hey, this is what I was getting at. This, admittedly, I should have known EBT based on the reputation and what I've seen of that character. This is what I mean. I woke up this morning, I turn on YouTube, and there's some ass clown talking about me. And whatever. Whatever. I'm sure. Anyway, life is a novel adventure. I mean, can you find the novelty in your life? Novelty is the uniqueness, the distinction. There's a novel man. Welcome, Moose. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm good. I heard you said that there was people talking shit about you, and you know me, I'm always throwing out a different perspective. Um, that means you've made it, dude. That means you've made it to fame and I mean, not fortune yet, but you made it to fame. Uh, you, I mean, you're basically got paparazzi chasing you down panel to panel, trying to clip whatever they can to try to make you, shape whatever narrative they want. I'd say that you're famous.
I'm definitely in the minds of others. I know that for sure. And actually, I know I'm in the hearts of many as well. I know that and I feel that. I believe it with the growing numbers too. um, but I'm not looking for fame. I'm looking for connection and understanding, the things that human beings are supposedly available to share. So it looked like Moose dropped. There, he's back. Welcome back, brother.
Fuck, man. Thanks for doxing me, eh?
It's on your thing.
Yeah, I know. It's okay. It's not actually who I am. So yeah, that's fucking funny. It's what's his name? Tommy tried almost the first time I went up there, went to threaten to dox me. And it's like, yeah, nice, bro. But yeah, no. I'm just coming up quick. I'm back home from working a couple province over, so I'm kind of fucking beat. But no, I went. Tommy and I said, he said, okay, we're even now, right? And I did hear him say, make a reference to my daddy, kind of thing. And so I said a little joke in his chat, right? And so he would just blew it all up, and I was gonna come on and say, yo, bro, like we're just joking. But I don't know. He's a reflection of the people he hates the most, and it's fucking hilarious to see. It's just this YouTube is pretty interesting. So anyway, yeah. So he kept me in the back, right? Just like fuck that. And I was hoping you were gonna to the chat say the comments to start fucking stirring some shit up, right? But
I wasn't trying to stir shit up. I was trying to find a way to bring peace, and I didn't see that in your comment backstage. So,
well, I honestly did want to go up and be like, "Yo, chill out, man. Like
yeah,
you're over, right?" But he's not like that. He's a fucking sketch head in his head, right? And I realize that. So
you know what, man? I should have known that about you anyway. That you weren't going to be coming in as a douche. That you could come in with, "Hey, knock it off, Tom." You know.
Well, I like my thing is I like to have fun in the chat, right? Like the chat's a whole other fucking universe. But any time I'm on panel, it's me, right? Like, and so I'm not the guy, I don't like drama really, right? I like entertainment, but
Right.
so yeah, whatever. But it's all good.
It's fun. It's fun.
Anyway,
And
I'm gonna probably jump and just listen and shit. So fuck you, take her easy.
respect. It's good to see you again, brother.
Yeah,
And
you betcha, buddy.
I'm glad to see you around. You're always welcome here. I think you know that. I hope you do.
Oh, if we get a good conversation going, maybe I'll jump back on, bro.
Sounds good. Sounds good. I'm not sure where today is going to go. Honestly, I'm feeling in a very chill. Actually, great idea. I'm feeling in a very chill and grounded, present. I'm in a good place. I feel that way at least. But there's many people who want me to believe differently. Anyway, the topic of the fear of talking or silence. I think sometimes we speak up out of fear as often as we stay silent out of fear. It's a possibility. Because we get these nervous moments and we talk. And I remember sitting back with my friends drinking beers, and we would sit and talk for hours. Just memories after memories. Gossip about politics and telling each other we were going to solve the world problems. Not really doing much of anything. And then, I left that group of people and found my own way, and holy cows, look what we're doing here some days. Sitting around talking about memories. I actually have the faith that the path forward in life is going to be whatever it is we choose. Whatever we choose for our path in life is going to be based on what we believe. Because based on what we believe, that's going to limit what we're aware of or what we know. And there's a lot of people who believe a lot of different things about the future. And it seems like life is really just passing people by. I know I used to live that way, and I still feel that way to some degree, despite my best efforts. That's not true. I could have done better. I think people lack a purpose. If everyone would just pick a purpose, pick a meaning, if they had the comfort, there's the answer right there. It's again, all the world's problems come back to the societal conditioning, to the systems of education, of governance, of everything. These systems have literally conditioned people not to use their minds, to limit themselves. And this stuff does make sense if you bring in the mythology and the religious of a battle between light and dark. Energies, energetic forces that manipulate the ideas and the thoughts. Who we are and what we are is everyone's got a different idea, don't they? And there's some people that believe we are so different. We are all so different from each other that we can't even understand each other. And I actually disagree. I deeply disagree with that idea, because I know that when people care about each other, they can understand even the most difficult things. The most scary things can be understood and overcome when people bring their minds and their hearts together as one. And that is the key.
Jack, can I share a little bit about comprehension/understanding?
Sure, please.
Somebody speaks a language like English, and then somebody else speaks to them in that language. They actually comprehend it. But now if somebody speaks to me in French and I don't understand it, but I know of it, there's the difference. So for people, most of us are inside of a vessel. Most of us know it, but we really don't comprehend how does a vessel work, let alone all its parts. This is why when you hear things, I'll even share it, when somebody goes to sleep, who runs the body? People just take it for granted. Well, I know about that. I say, yeah, but try to understand it, comprehend it. You know, this is why when other people tell me, Dom, I don't understand you, that's not your role to understand me. You're supposed to understand you. Now, that's a tough one for most people because they don't realize other indoctrination that they have in them, such as language. Anyway, I just shared just a little bit on just a simple word like understand. Then that's why you also use the word in between called discernment, wisdom. How do you discern the difference between judging and understanding?
Yes, there's all sorts of there's very subtle distinctions between many of our words in the language we use. There are subtle distinctions, and you know, when we communicate, a lot of it is nonverbal communication. Not, you know, beyond just the words, it's the energies, the tones, the facial expressions, the body posture, and there's a lot of complication, a lot of variables involved in communicating with each other properly. To know oneself, I believe the easiest and best path is to learn through others, through ourselves. But it is, like he said, it's all done through us, everything. And this is back to what I was saying before, the devil and God, it's all within us. The entire universe is contained within. It is our nature. At least the entirety of our experience in the universe. It's all within. So I spent a long time in my life only learning the things I had to learn, right? Because that's what school taught me. Taught me to learn what I had to learn and learn as much as you need in order to get by and get approval and move on. So that's how I lived a lot of my life in the military as well, you know, particularly when you get into the realm of classified information, you know, then you really start worrying about, ooh, can I know this or can I not know that? Or can I know this? All these other stupid nonsense games. I lived a life learning what I needed to for survival. And in order to survival is not living. Matter of fact, sometimes survival is worse than death. Because if there's no joy, no release, no peace, no satisfaction in life, and you're just surviving, it's misery. It's almost a punishment worse than death. I've believed that. I've experienced my levels of that. But if we want to live, we're here to learn and we're here to discover. And I spent a lot of my life afraid of learning the wrong things, afraid of learning from the wrong people, afraid of learning the wrong ideas. Little did I know I was wrong most of my fucking life. I mean, I joined the military. I was a Republican and a Democrat. I had claimed to be a capitalist for a long time in this life. And I feel better now that I don't worry about the labels. Now, the world hasn't seen it yet, but I said it before and I'm speaking the truth into reality. There is a rock star rising. There is a comeback story that is coming forth through me. And who I'm becoming? I'm becoming one sexy motherfucker. Just like the thumbnail was bringing, man. At least that's my goal in my head. You know, the world gets to decide. And right now, though, while I'm clearly in the minds of many people, I have not yet been seen clearly. And I know I'm not seen as much of anything, let alone a sexy motherfucker. By some, at least. I don't know. Hey, I'm kind of going on and on. You guys are welcome to please jump in if you'd like.
Well, you did bring up the topic about fear of speaking, let alone being in silence. What prevents somebody from not talking, let alone getting into that state of silence, even though it's constantly there? Think about people that go to sleep, you're in silence. And when you're chewing your food, you're in silence. So, but what is that? Like I use the word fear, Jack, as unaware, for example. So some people can be unaware of something. So are they
Respect.
projecting? Yeah. Respect? Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I was respect. I love that. Fear is it's an unawareness. I agree completely.
Yeah. So again, it's like people fear death, but have you ever experienced death? You know, you'll see somebody no longer, maybe some essence no longer, and maybe their parents, but you really don't know what death is. But what we do know is suffering, such as resistance to pain. A lot of our suffering is actually in attachments to our comforts and our pleasures. This is where people play this polarity game with positive opposed to negative ideal. But if a person doesn't know how to or doesn't want to speak, what projections or what do they have going on in their own head? Are they judging others? And when you judge others internally, you're going to assume other people are going to do it to you. So you give to others what you give to yourself, but it always starts with the self, whatever that is to somebody. For me, I'm okay with talking because I don't really worry about people telling me, Dom, I agree or disagree. Unless you ask me, I'm not concerned about that kind of stuff. Those are just my likes and dislikes, and I'll do that on my own. I don't need to hear other people validating myself. That's my job. Anyway, sorry, Jack.
I agree completely with you. There was a couple of thoughts that came up and I lost them regarding what you were saying, but I'm sure they'll return. What prevents what? Oh, that's what it was. What you were spot on again. One who is constantly judging others is going to believe everyone is judging them. One who thinks others are judging, or one who is judging others, will assume others are judging them. And that fear of judgment, that fear of being wrong, because that's what comes up when we judge in others, we're usually projecting our insecurities or our imagined superiorities onto others. It's what the world taught us. But that fear, the fear of judgment, the fear of being ridiculed or mocked or whatever, those prevent people from speaking up. And my mind is kind of drifting into some of these other studies I've come across, and I know there's studies on the the mentality of mobs. You get a group of people together and you get some asshat starts yelling out some stuff, and then the next thing you know, the mob is gonna really drop down in the energies. That's how some of these protest groups have been allegedly infiltrated and manipulated, as you bring in some infiltrators and start, changing the energy by speaking out. But those who are moral, those who may fear, they won't speak out as much. And it's the voice of reason that we lose once we get into our confused and agitated state. This fear and lack of awareness, it comes from a confusion. And it's real easy for us. I've witnessed myself doing it. learning something, having a conversation with someone, and they tell me something that's like, whoa, shift in my paradigm. I felt it. I felt my mind go into this like little panic confusion, these energies and things turn. I'm like, whoa. Okay, now hold on. Let me come back. And then go through and push through the confusion. But some people, they feel that confusion, they just react. And then we have these habits of reaction that we develop through our lives, which is part of the family conditioning, the religious, the societal conditioning. People learn all sorts of different things and believe all sorts of crazy things. Like, there's some people who believe it's okay to steal. If I don't have it, someone else does. Well, I need it. I'm going to go take it. I'm tougher, I'm bigger, I'm badder. It's mine. There's
Or
people that.
Jack, what about like the corporations too? Like, someone goes to Home Depot and they're have an extra board on their cart that they didn't pay for, and then they walk out of the store and someone goes, "Hey, you didn't pay for that, bro." And they go, "Oh, it's fine, it's just Home Depot."
Hmm.
You know what I mean? How does it go with the corporations, Because it's still, to me, I think that the act of theft is an individual choice, and it has no bearing on like who you're stealing from. It's just the process of stealing something from someone else. And so to me, I would call that, kind of evil, regardless of who you're stealing from.
I I agree. Theft is. I've done that. I've done my stupid theft when I was a stupid kid. But yeah, theft is no good for anyone. There's no reasons.
Well, you can make reasons out of it, Jack, because you have to look
Sure.
at the backstory to it. Somebody that takes something, but then you find out their story. Somebody's been withholding. Then is it really theft?
Right.
This goes back to our
And
likes and dislikes. Once you isolate them long enough, you realize, okay, so who creates the storyline of what stealing is? If I actually hoard everybody else's food, then it'll make it like as though anybody that takes from me is a thief.
well, it depends on the rules,
That's right.
allegedly, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's why I brought this up, because I was kind of also wrestling with that idea myself. I was like, well, the corporations are evil, or what if you were stealing to feed your family, or stuff like that. And so that's why I brought it up.
I appreciate that.
Well, you have to play with the idea of, sorry, Jack, the word, what is evil? People fling that word around, but they don't. What is really the word evil? What's the energy behind the word evil? Because if you realize that you're sitting in it, it's one's projections of it. Well, I don't like that. I said that has nothing to do with understanding language or the energy behind it. Corporations, what are they? What's behind corporations? Human beings. It's like governments and state. It's all human beings. You got to always melt down that gold to realize that its purest form, what is it? It's human beings. When we start talking about other things like governments, religion, we're just distracting ourselves. Those are entities that don't what? Are they grocery shopping with us? Is a thing called corporation shopping with us? Is state shopping with us? No, it has nothing to do with that. And this is where the indoctrination comes. Most of us don't realize how easily you're distracted.
Yeah, people are distracted very easily.
And then they use justifications and
They
excuses for
make
their
excuses.
behavior, let alone the way they speak. Hence, being in a state of silence. Once you're in that state of silence, you realize, holy fuck, I've been talking about nothing fucking nonsense, because it is beyond the sense. But that's a tough one, because then a person has to learn how to revolt from within and realize, well, then what have I been doing before? I'm having intellectual conversation about morality. Okay, well, there's a difference between having an intellectual conversation and actually doing it or being it. Anyway, sorry guys, I went on a little bit.
Well, this is what I've noticed on some of the some of the panels, the fear of being silent. People have maybe an unclear desire to be valued and to be seen. And so the ego feels power when it's moving, when it's doing. And so speaking is doing. And I think people talk, and because maybe they're insecure or whatever, but the fear comes from our lack of awareness. The lack of awareness is a lack of presence most times. And we lose our presence when we start tripping into memories and imaginations. And so our lack of presence and our lack of awareness with the insecurity that we don't recognize will bring us to talk. And I see a lot of people doing that. This question is what I wanted to really ask you guys as well. Why do you think it's easier to speak up? I have my theories on this. Why is it easier to speak up to defend someone else than to speak up for yourself? Or is that not a common issue?
I think what happens, Jack, is most of us forget when we're talking with each other, we're actually using the thing called hearing with the word ear, and it gives it away, hearing. When a person is in silence, I'll change the word meditation. You're actually having an opportunity now to listen from within. When people say they're listening to others, I said, no, you're hearing each other. But when you're listening, so that's why some people intuitively will say, well, something tells me not to go down that alley. And the next day, no, I need to go down that alley. Same with when people start reading information. You're reading it, you're perceiving it with your senses. But the thing is, are you going to listen inwards? Because there's something that's always functioning all the time within you. This is why I can explain this to children. So when you go to sleep, who runs your body? That's not you. Hence, know thyself. Who's the knower and who's the self? Both of them are programs, because I'm using my program right now, my ego. I've learned language. I don't care if it's numbers, colors, English. There's other languages I haven't learned.
I'm not sure what your point is.
I don't think it's a point, Jack, but if you think there should be a point, I'll gladly bring it back.
Well,
there's many points.
Without a point, is there relevance? And if there's relevance, I mean, without a point, I know there's meaning to the words, but I'm not understanding the meaning for the timing of the words. I asked about this question.
Okay. Rephrase it then. Sorry. Say it again, Jack. My apologies if I went on a tangent there.
Well, no, I appreciate what you offer. I do. That's why I was asking, what is this connected to?
Well, when you're listening from within, it's all being connected. But
Dominic, please thank you for this interruption. This is kind of the point. You weren't listening to me at all. After I saw that you were going off on a tangent, it looks like you were engaged in the chat, and maybe that is what happened here. But you weren't listening, and then you're talking and telling us about listening. And it's quite ironic.
I'm always hearing you, Jack. My listening is always done from within.
Okay.
So I'm hearing you. Now, if I, for some reason, deviated, I'll put too many things going on in my head, which we're all capable of doing. We can have numerous of things entertaining at any given moment. A lot of us forget that kind of stuff. But anyway, I went on, Jack.
Well, I'll read the questions again. Why is it easier to speak up to defend someone else than to speak up for yourself? Or is that not a common issue?
Defense and attacks is a perpetual cycle. So somebody that creates a gun to defend will also attract something to attack. Once a person can observe that you don't need to defend or attack, then you can go back into that state of hopefully listening.
Okay, you didn't answer either question. So you don't see it as a common issue, or?
It can be. It can be perceived as an issue, yes.
Okay.
But there's also solutions to it, or it's just observation of it.
But what about speaking up to defend someone else versus standing up to speak for oneself? Because you brought up defend an attack and into the process of what that is, but I don't understand.
Okay, if you go inwards, there's a good chance you might realize I don't really need to defend another person, because we all don't know each
Okay.
other's stories.
Okay.
Now the self, that's the one that usually gets triggered. So then you'll have to kind of comprehend: am I reacting or having the ability to respond? Because one's accountability, the other one's just a perpetual defense and attack going on. Those are judgments.
Okay, so you don't think it is easier to speak up to defend someone else? You think there's no reason to?
You can apply reason to it, yes, Jack. Anything can be applied.
I realize
Mhm.
that, but I'm trying to. Okay, never mind.
Okay.
You have any thoughts on this? Do you think it's easier to speak up to defend someone else more than yourself?
Yeah. I think that if I saw a wrongdoing uh happening to someone else, I would much more likely jump at it than if somebody was doing a wrongdoing to me. Um, yeah, I don't know how to explain it. I've been in situations where I've you know stopped people from being attacked by others. Um, so I've been in those situations. It's like I don't know. It's natural to me. Like when someone's doing something wrong to someone else, like as long as you're the only one around, I guess it's your responsibility, I guess. I don't know, that's what it feels like. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that. I was considering this, and my perspective may have shifted. I think sometimes it is easier to stand up for someone else, and then other times it's not. It's going to really determine based on our own personal relationship, and I don't know.
Oh,
I
and group dynamics. Like
Yeah, okay.
if you're sitting in a group of people, right, and you go bowling every Thursday night, everybody's together. And then all of a sudden, there's one guy that somebody doesn't like, but he's kind of the popular one, right? And he's the one pointing out the guy he doesn't like. So more people are going to side with the popular guy, right? And so that might put pressure on some people to not speak up for that person.
I know in the past I'm trying to remember, because I had to grow in my ability to stand up for both. I think I actually think I found it easier to stand up for others than I did for myself, particularly when when it came time for remedy. I know that I very seldom ask for much, but for others, you better believe I wanted it all.
Definitely. It's kind of like I think it's similar to how like looking at other people's problems, sometimes our ego tells us that we can solve their issues and we would be able to make their life perfect or whatever, but you don't really know the whole context of the story. You don't know everything that's going on in that person's life or whatever. Oh, what's up? Here we go.
So
Here's someone who might
my
be able to
pig
answer this.
creature just said that there was a cry for help going on over here. Because I'm still alive, as you may or may not know. But yeah, my snafu warthog creature said there's a cry for help. Daddy, get over there. Faithfully, you could bring some assistance. So I figured, why not? I'd show up.
Well, it's good to see you, my brother. But what's the kid who cries wolf? Um, can't believe all the stories you receive from some of these characters, man. We're
All right,
doing
well then there you go. I mean, maybe he'll join us at some point and make it clear. But I was just tuning in, for the last few moments, and seemed like there was some chaos and controversy as always. So I figured I'd either help resolve that or add to it. I mean, whatever you choose.
Hey, you're welcome to join. There's a couple more people joining up too. Chuck, and this one is, I know, here to serve you, Paul. Not me.
Who's that? Krista? Well, what makes you why, Jack? Why do you presume everybody has to be on one side or another as if there's sides?
They choose sides, dude. This is the thing. It's foolishness. But hey, here is the snafu. Wait a minute. Snafu Snaps is in the back. The same guy who yesterday was bragging to me, and I thought he was bragging to you too, Paul.
Yeah, he sent me screenshots today about a dozen folks that not him, he says the crew has stricken. You being 3 or 4 of them on the list. Right.
So Snafu has chosen to view me as an enemy, as a danger, a threat, someone to be taken down. I mean, this makes no sense to me.
To be fair, he has also done the same thing to myself. So I've tried to take the approach of being, as you are, the enlightened one in these interactions and not returning the favor, right?
What do you have to say, Snafu? What brings you here?
Well, Daddy needed to save the show. I saw you being a little Nazi caught earlier to Mr. Dom. It's not like we weren't watching. Crew watches, right?
Oh my God.
We talked personally on the phone. You know, brother. I love you, man.
I know you are confused.
I told you whether I'm here or go, the power, brother. Got to follow the guidelines and policies. You got to stay in line. But I told Daddy to come save you guys because I thought Nazi Cot has been getting a little Nazi cottier than usual. And so Daddy came here to save the day. That's what I'm here for. And by the way, nice lights on your fireplace. When did you do that?
Yesterday, I think. I think.
Do they change colors?
They do.
Let's see it.
No.
Why not?
Good for you, Jack.
I don't work for you. You forget. You are opposing me. You're a guest here. You can request, or you could just as easily kind of kiss my ass too, you little prick.
I'm not doing anything. I'm watching Daddy save.
That's not what I had in mind for the enlightenment portion of the broadcast.
Right?
Let's not point out the genitalia and how small it is on Snafu. That's not right.
Jack, I gotta be honest with you though. Yes, I showed you and told you what I'm doing, but you're not even the ones getting hit the hardest. Your pal Host Date and others, that's who we're encouraging to get hit the hardest.
I don't agree with that either.
I don't care if you agree with that. That's okay with me.
I know you enjoy being disagreeable.
No, but I mean, okay. Even if we disagree, can we disagree to agree to still get along, move along? You don't agree with how my tactics are. I don't agree with how your Nazism is, but we're still getting along, going along, and Daddy's here to save the day. Like can't beat that shit, right?
There is a sense of honor in whatever he's doing. I've had to look to find it, but it is there. I mean,
I know
he has a point. He is letting everyone know what he's going to do. Many people throw the rock, hide their hand.
Yeah.
And he has the logic. He says, if you guys are going to follow statute, policy, and code in your life, well, you got to follow it on the metaverse too. And if you're going to bully, harass, and do misinformation, then the crew's going to strike you. I can't really argue with his logic.
There you go. See, that's like a mood for you. You mood changing it, Jack. See, Daddy is doing his work. Thanks, Daddy.
What the fuck?
Again, don't thank me. I've had to find reconciliation within myself to offer it to others. So you've stricken me in the past. The only difference is I don't follow statute, policy, and code in life, so I don't promote that it be followed implicitly on here. while I do follow it because, of course, I stand with Israel and Ukraine, and I do whatever I'm told.
Jack, we could become powerful together, all of us. The Nazism has just got to kind of like reduce.
It's non-existent beyond your mind.
Yeah, how are we going to fix that?
I don't know, but I'm fixated on your fireplace now.
I know, it's kind of hypnotizing, actually. Dude, we got such cool inventions and toys available these days. I mean, life really is kind of cool when we don't trip out and worry about it so much. That's what I've been trying to do, is not trip out and worry about it so much. And then I figured out it feels good to feel good. And gratitude is free and it feels good. So, dude, you don't need much to feel grateful. And your mind is the only thing that limits your gratitude. So that's just using logic and reasoning. And every one of us has those traits. We can all logic and reasoning and understand why it feels good and why it is good to be grateful for each other. Snafu. Instead of fucking finding reasons to lash out, dude. I don't know. I don't mean to lecture.
I'm not lashing out. Not yet.
Greetings, Jack. How you doing tonight, brother?
I am
so you can hear me. My mic is working good?
Yeah.
Thanks. That's all I needed. Have a good day, everybody.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Wow.
I can imagine.
More prideful, egoic, imagined agreements, right? He just imagined an agreement because I told him his sound equipment. See, notice he didn't stay up here and speak more than a sentence or two so he could reveal the problem I spoke about. No, it's hi. Can you hear me? Okay, I made my point. Now I'll leave. Could you be any more broken host syndrome in this moment? Seriously.
It's dramatic with minimal effort. You got to give it to him.
All right, so I lied. I lied about his equipment. It's totally fine. Everyone can hear him. I was at it again. You know me, Jack, and my hijinks.
It could. That's what I was laughing about. I was assuming there was some hijinks and some drama being shown.
Right. There's totally no evidence of incompetence and incapability on other people's part. It's just me with my hijinks and reindeer games.
But Jack, you're a life coach. You should be used to the drama.
Why? Why do you think I should be used to drama?
Because aren't you a life coach? And what do people have in their life? Drama.
Not
life
if I'm
coaching. You're coaching them out of what then? What are you coaching them out of? Or what are you coaching them to better from?
Right. If I'm a successful coach, they'll have drama just for a little bit.
But that's what comes with people, right? In general.
Yeah, I guess. I guess.
Did you just learn that?
No.
What are you drinking on? What are you sipping on?
Oh, this is a good one from Costco. Spiced apple
water.
Yeah, sparkling water.
Bubbling.
I am feeling sexy. Tranquil vortex. I am feeling sexy today. And what's up, pussycat? Hey! What's
Jack.
up, pussycat?
How are you?
I'm feeling blessed, Tarek. How are you today, brother?
I am great, man. I'm great. I did like the meme. Flow State should be, you're going to have some competition, Flow State. Jack looks pretty sexy in those jeans and red shirt. So maybe he should be the one teaching men how to get women, not Flow State.
No. I don't know. Thanks for the compliment.
No,
Hey,
I'm just yeah.
The compliment, not my body, just my face. It works.
So does that bother you, Jack, that people have drama and you wanting to be a life coach, knowing that people have drama? Like, that's a real question, right?
That is a real question.
Because you get very, I guess what I would say, annoyed. You get very irritated. You get very, but if you're a counselor, a therapist, or a life coach, or whatever the fuck, that's what you have to be prepared to understand. And I mean, I don't know. Like, is that like? It's a serious question I'm asking.
Who's making all that noise?
If Chuck's gonna wash dishes, can we like?
Yeah.
Well,
What
mute
the
up?
fuck?
I know he's not that bright, but maybe we have a producer here.
I thought I was muted.
He's not
I'm
washing
cooking
dishes. He's
supper.
panning for gold in his backyard.
No, I'm cooking supper. Sorry.
You're fine.
No, he's probably working on his new ritual because he's been hanging with Venus and them, his witchcraft shit.
Well,
that is true.
This is
sorry, Jack. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, hey, respect, and I appreciate
Bold
it.
face lie.
And Chuck, maybe you can recognize that. Oops, forgot. I'm just cooking my dinner. Maybe you can realize that's why I have issues with you. Is not this. I mean, it's a pattern, dude. You come up and you just don't seem to give a shit. Oops, it's just the way it is.
No, Jack. I laid the phone in my pocket, and when I did, apparently it went off of mute because I did have it muted.
Look,
now,
Jack's laying down pipe
just
right now.
because
He's
your
laying down
daddy's here.
boundaries.
Just because your daddy's here.
Don't try and deceive the
no
great
need to get
Talcott. He
ugly.
called your BS out.
And there you go. There's the false power game when Jack's obviously bringing awareness to people's lack of awareness, which is a common theme in life and on these panels. I would know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. They attack.
Hey, I just thought I'd take a break to help Chuck with his mute, and he disappeared. So there was someone saying something when Chuck interrupted it, and damn it, what were we talking about? There was something.
I think Sniffle was asking you if No, you were asking him if he's a life coach. I thought he's more now of a sex coach.
Drama or something.
No, okay, being a life coach, it seems that, okay, drama or being a therapist or anything trying to help people, right? Or even just whatever. It attaches to the drama, attaches to the baggage, attaches to the bullshit. But see, someone like you get very irritated and upset and just angry at times. And it's like, is that something you think you should work on if you want to continue trying to help people?
Yeah. How about this?
I know, you're dismissing it. No, go ahead. I mean, you're dismissing my real question here.
I'm playing Snap.
Okay.
All right. So, yes, no, I don't have much disagreement with what you said. Some of the reactions you've seen from me, though, are my frustration, my disappointment, because I know that people could have less drama in their lives, but they choose the drama rather than me. So it's like,
wait, so you're offering these bitches a drama-free marriage or what? Like drama-free
You choose Jack
fuck
Talcott,
or
fuck the drama.
drama-free night? What are we offering
You
these
choose
bitches?
you.
It's not possible, Jack. Don't offer it. They'll come back on you.
I know.
Now you got people thinking though, Jack.
Well, I've offered to work with people to help them overcome their problems, their insecurities. People's insecurities have found their priority, and it's just the way the world is. Here, I know I'm speaking kind of vaguely, and I'm not saying much specific. But this is the life where we are living. My life is a fucking trip, man. It is an absolute trip. I love life. I feel like I've got a lot to offer to the world, but every way I've tried offering, well, here is one of the ways I've been trying to offer. I believe my beliefs bring a lot of people to create distance from me. I realize this because I believe some pretty outlandish things like the world can change and peace can be known. But guys, I think what I am is a symbol of experience. I'm a symbol of an experience. All of us are different symbols of different experiences. We all represent different things. We all have different lessons. We all have different meanings. I swear, my life, I think, has a meaning. I'm not claiming to be God, but I claim to be one with the presence that I understand as God, and it's with all of us. So I'm just like everyone else, and at the same time, I'm not, because I know, no, that sounds wrong. Here's who I know I am. I'm a damn good man and a damn good friend. And the people who used to vouch for that, they stopped believing in that. So I've been doing my best to show myself as who I am. And I am a damn good man and a damn good friend. And I tell you what, that's what God is, our best friend. And good friends, best friends, they change our lives, man. They bring us different ways of thinking. That's what a true friend does. They help us develop. And that's what I'm really offering. I just want to be people's friends. And I think that's what God wants to, just to
Well,
be
do
our.
you see what I left here backstage?
Uh-oh.
You made plenty of friends. I see. You have accomplished things beyond Mr. Talcott.
Oh
Mr.
yeah,
Snowball Walnuts.
I did see that before. You dropped the what's it called?
Yeah.
Wait, what was that one? No, I've not seen this, I don't think. What is this?
You should watch this then if you have not seen it.
No, I've seen it. He dropped the Mad Jack's Gorilla Gem Tal Clips one.
That's what I'm saying. You're making moves.
Life is happening. Life is unfolding for us all, through us all, with us all. And I'm encouraging everyone, pay attention. Pay attention to your now, what is going on within you. Because the whole world, this is what we were talking about earlier, the whole world, the entire experience we know, it's all within.
Can we get back to my question though?
The drama?
The question was, do you not see how you get angry or frustrated and how the drama is attached to being with people if you're trying to help them through issues? Like everything you just said, I get, but you kind of avoided the whole question about what I asked.
I don't know how that happened.
I think Jack. I think everybody gets sometimes maybe a little angry here and there, but it's natural. But it's maybe controlling it, and that's all. And I mean, I'm speaking even to myself, even though I'm very
Today
patient.
you're doing good. Today he's being not caught. He was with Dom earlier, but Daddy came and saved the day.
Dom goes on and on sometimes, and
Yeah.
I think he knows. He thinks he knows it all. I don't think he knows it all. He knows what he knows, and credit to that, and that's it.
Dude, this is too crazy. I don't know how this is happening, but in chat is a comment. In YouTube chat is a comment. And in the StreamYard, it's not. It's hilarious. Because the comment is from Jesus. And it says, "Hey, Jack, I just got off the phone with my dad, and he wants me to tell you to please stop speaking for him." and I can't find it in StreamYard. It's
Well,
not
that's
up
proof
here.
it is the actual Jesus, and that sounds like great advice.
That's what I was just thinking. Holy shit.
The optics are high.
I mean, is YouTube censoring people now or what?
No, man. Jesus.
Turns out Dad had a word with Jesus at some point too, for the same reasons.
Holy cows, man. This life is too bizarre, too funny, too amazing. It's too perfect. Life is too perfect to not be true, and it's too true to not be perfect. How about that?
What the fuck does that mean?
Everything is perfect. The way our lungs breathe, our heart pumps, our blood cycles, the way the
So you're
seasons
gonna tell someone with COPD or something or asthma that, or someone
Yeah.
with lung cancer
Yeah.
that life. So it's like
Right,
Eric's song.
because you see disorder in yourself or in others, you don't see the grander order in creation. And therein lies your problem in the way you present and why you're received the way you are.
I believe life is beautiful. It's a creation. It is perfect in the way it has been created. But I don't believe it's like the perfect hug-a-buddy, fuck-a-buddy. I think love has been weaponized.
The point is, nobody here can create a universe and do it better than the original creator. So stop trying.
That's the key.
Well, I'm not the one claiming to be Jesus or God or any of that.
Well, no, you're not. You're not. This trips me out though. I saw Jesus in the chat, and it's not up on StreamYard. How does that happen?
There's multiple reasons it could happen. The devices, they could be just solely on YouTube versus.
There you go with your extreme infidel lack of faith behavior. Maybe it's Jesus.
Right.
It could be Jesus.
I know, huh? Anyway. All that was being taught is, well, I don't know why I started that.
What do you want to talk
What are
about,
you guys
Jack?
feeling? I'm
No,
feeling
yeah.
fun today.
All right.
With faith.
Wait, what was your subject?
It's fun Sunday. It's sexy Sunday. Get
Yeah,
down,
sexy. I would say
Talcott,
sexy,
you know?
yeah.
Jack getting down with it, huh?
He's getting down to the mainstream.
Jack and Pimp Daddy Unslaved is in the house.
Hey, beautiful energies. I was going to talk about the sexiness of life, but that could go into the gutters, and then it could also sound.
There's two options of places that's going to go: creepy and creepier.
Right. Yes, I know. And along the lines of what Gauchi was talking about too. But there is some truth to that. There is an energy and a force within us. It's a primal nature tied to the sexual energies. And from the explanations of the chakra systems that I've heard and learned of, it kind of makes sense.
I want to point out how only few people have been inside the Rothschilds as deep as Aaron Gauchi.
You know, I don't understand that story either. There's a lot of claims in that story, but I've yet to hear the details to fully understand it. So, the sexiness of life.
I mean, maybe Flow State should be on the panel. He's the sex machine, I heard.
I mean, I did say creepy.
Yeah, he's been pushing creepy optics. He's been pushing fucking fruit optics.
No, come on, let's be nice, Snav. We have good energy.
Tarek's the only person on the panel that's asking for another man to come up on the panel. It's supposed to be sexy Sunday. We should be asking the women to come up.
Remember Jack said he was thinking about going bisexual. Remember that?
No, he didn't say it.
You said that before, Jack. Don't deny it. You said you thought about going bisexual.
Snafu.
Don't deny it.
Snafu, please recognize you have more credibility when you remember things within the context.
Yeah.
Just because something was said doesn't mean that it has relevance to what you're doing, man. And this is where Snafu, my friend.
You said you were exploring your ways, and Mr. O'Shea was involved. Remember?
Snafu. Right.
We had conversations with you.
Who cares? This is the point. You're making relevance out of insignificance, and you're bringing up things out of context. This is why you're confused.
How? We were talking about sexy, you, Talcott, and I just remember last time you were talking about getting sexy with it, you were thinking about going by. That's the last time you were talking about sexy Talcott. So you're judging me for shit you've already said on public record.
Holy cows.
Well, let's not make it about Jack. Come on, Snafu. I mean, in terms of the sex.
I mean, Jack, it's only been like a year and a half since I first called out that Chuck's obviously using money and memberships to have an indirect control over the folks that he gives to. Which is why he gave very little to me from the beginning, because he knew I was impervious to that. See, these folks are predatory, Jack. You have to look at that, what it means about you, that he would think that threatening you to cancel his subscription would alter your behavior for his purposes, right? This is a direct attempt at manipulation, which he's been doing for a year and a half while you all claim to be friends. It's laughable.
Yep.
And that's where the integrity comes from Jack, you know, as long as he sees that for what it is. Because that's some bullshit move by Chuck.
Thank you. People have their blind spots. And yep, I've seen that happen. People use money as a way to buy themselves favor.
But they only do it with people who they think are gullible, naive, or manipulatable or suggestible. So keep that in mind.
True. Very
well,
true.
And let's be real. It wasn't Flow State, Host State on your panel calling you, and I'm not trying to get bumped. I'm just being real. If you rewind the tape, he was calling you, Jack, vulnerable, gullible, blah, blah, blah. And you kind of sat there and agreed with him. You're like, yeah, you know, because you were talking about one of the other people like fuck with you. It was yesterday, but Flo has said that about you to your face, and it was just yesterday you said that. I'll pull up the footage if I have to.
It's also been almost a year since I first called that out, that Slow State was only hanging out here to grow his channel, and he came out in the open and admitted that. Now he boasts about it. I have the biggest channel here, he says, right next to Jack. So at some point we'll all see what the rest of us are seeing.
And we were trying to just tell you, Jack, you know, I talked to you personally too. Like, you know, we're not doing dicks, dude.
But here's where we failed, Snafu Snaps, because by presenting his opposition to Jack Talcott, it made it that much easier for him to climb into the arms of a seeming group of allies, right? So this is where we go wrong, because we become so aggressive or so passionate that folks wind up going to folks as allies who they may not have from the beginning.
That happens.
Understandable. And that's all it is, though, discernment, just like you saw with what he said about Chuck Talcott, because that was a dick thing to say, Chuck.
You're muted, Barbie.
Yeah, if you were trying to speak.
No, I wasn't trying to speak. I muted myself because I was actually listening to this with other people in the room, and they were commenting on what y'all were saying, so I had it muted. Because their opinion may not necessarily be the same as mine. So that's why
I got to ask, now that we have people in the crowd outside of the broadcast on the panel, what do they feel about this place? Do they feel that we should probably be investing in mental asylums for the future? Or?
Oh, just from listening, they've only been listening to y'all for about maybe 2 or 3 minutes. They deal with me on a regular basis, so they automatically assume that if I'm associating with y'all or that y'all are associating with me, that yes, there's probably some need for a mental asylum.
All right, then we're in good company. All right, we're in good company.
Fabulous. Hey, let me swing it back to Chuck. I don't have anything against Chuck. he may not realize that's what he's doing. He is a generous man. He does share generously. And I don't think it's intentionally to manipulate others, but there's an underlying pattern that people have. It's been shown.
Jack, how many of these folks really give to you or a part of what you're doing and don't expect something at some point and reveal that? I mean, that's clear as day. So they may not consciously do it in the moment for those reasons, but they will spin back at some point and tell you what they've done for you in order for you to feel guilty and change who and what you are.
Possibly.
And not even for the right reasons, just for their own purposes. It'd be one thing if he was doing it objectively to try to make you better. He's just upset with the results he gets with you.
That's the unfortunate part. People have
That's one
expectations.
individual.
What's that?
That's one individual. What Paul was saying, if I'm not mistaken, what he just said was that everybody would at some point throwing it back at you what they've done for you and then turn it back to that one individual person. So no, not everybody is because they're getting something or they give something from Jack. Some of us just are here because we're observing. It's not about me getting anything from Jack, although I do vibe with a lot of stuff that Jack says. And I don't really give a fuck if y'all don't like that or do like that or whatever. That is what it is.
I mean, it's kind of weird that you would get aggressive and defensive when nobody was addressing you in order to disprove it. It almost lends one to believe that you are doing that just because you were so outspoken about not doing it.
Hey, you got kind of gangster
I heard
bitch
you
like so
talking that shit
shady.
about people, Paul, to know that I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. You are
So
the
it's
most
talking
double-
shit by analyzing what I'm perceiving that you weren't even being thought about or focused on. You made yourself a focus of it to prove you weren't it. That kind of leads someone to believe you are it, not it.
You are all the way wrong, sir.
Okay. I didn't say I was right or wrong. I just told you what I perceived.
Well,
Hold
that's
on.
great. That's your
Please.
perception, man.
And thank you. Please. Welcome, Flo. Welcome, Hank. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, Jack.
We were talking about I could press back a little bit too, though, with what you said, Paul, because people do have the tendency to give with expectations. And, you know, there's a lot of people that have intentions that they have the spirit of manipulation. It's the way they are. But there's also people who genuinely give. And I actually think Chuck genuinely gives to those he enjoys and that he wants to see do well. I believe he's genuine in that part. But
I feel Hostate has the manipulation part you spoke of.
What's that?
I'd say aside from Snafu, we've got a pretty sexy panel.
I would agree with that.
Fuck you, Moose. You're a cupcake fucking piece of shit too, though. You got me blocked. Moose is Nazi cotted too right now.
Oh, damn. Officer Snaps. Just calm down, sir. Please.
Well, you know what? You are a gay black witch. It's okay. I'll shut up.
Yeah, that's in my headline. So, yes. Thank you for noticing. Thank you for reading, Miss Officer Snaps.
Thanks, Frank.
Do you got your plastic torso to butt nuts on?
hey, Snafu, you just said you were going to shut up.
He was lying.
Never trust the police.
Jack, I have drama. You're a life coach. You need to please understand my drama,
I know,
my baggage, and all my shit.
Snafu.
Life coach, don't Nazi block me. Don't Nazi.
Snafu, we talked about this earlier, how you have impulse and compulsion control issues,
Daddy.
and it always leads you down the same. You're doing it
Daddy.
now. You're doing it now.
Sorry, Daddy.
So don't be sorry to me.
Thank you.
Fuck you, cupcakes. Go ahead, Talcott.
You're still doing it.
Officer Snaps.
It's Snafu. This is an opportunity. Seriously, just a little polite feedback for you to look at yourself. Holy cows. You've got all the support you need to change, but or not. Hey, sorry. I'm literally at a point. I don't know what to do from here right now. I know we're in the middle of the stream. I'm actually having fun. I'm feeling like there is kind of there's an beautiful energy and a sexy dynamic here on this panel. And so now what? Where do we want to take this?
I told you, you didn't want to hear me. Hank fucking has a plastic torso he likes to bust nuts on. You're talking about getting sexy with it.
I don't want to hear you.
Witch down there likes getting sexy with plastic torsos.
It would definitely be next year without snafu.
One of the things I want to know is why is it any of our business what Hank's busting nuts on?
I wouldn't know unless he brought it to our business.
Right.
It's called online.
Right. So why do you...
Is it possible, Snafu, the reason you're fixated on it is because you too want to fuck a plastic torso since you don't have any other options of anything else to fuck?
I asked him how much it was. He said the lighter ones were cheaper, right, Hank? Because the dark skinned ones were more. What was it?
I feel like Snafu's like stuck in high school. His
He's stuck on
mentality
everyone
is still high
else's
school.
perversions because he's avoiding his own.
No, you guys are talking about getting sexy with it. That's the way Hank gets sexy with it. I'm just pointing out the type of people on your panel and these conversations you're bringing up.
So am I.
People who are on your panel that, I'm just saying.
You realize you're also a type of person on the panel right now. So you indirectly painted yourself in a corner.
Yeah, I yield.
Yeah, please do.
Not exactly a chess master, huh, Snafu?
No, I'm fucking I yield. En passant, I'm done.
Stick to checkers.
No, I just did en passant. They don't know what it is. You know what en passant is.
Yes, I know what en passant is.
Hey, Paul, I got an idea, and think it was inspired by Snafu, but it would be a hell of a challenge, I think, for me.
Hey, can we hear it one more time?
You want to become a zookeeper?
No, this is a great idea.
I'm thinking Paul has a way of really analyzing and breaking people down, and we could do like the dark and the light side of breaking people down.
Jack, you realize I proposed this idea to you 1.5 years and you spat upon it and said you weren't into entertainment,
But
and
Daddy,
that if I didn't just do what you said, we could.
What I worked on, Daddy.
Sir, please. You're on thin ice right now, and you're quite a large creature. You get where I'm going here?
I know.
So
I'm just saying,
yeah,
Jack
you're
is
finally
down to the
now.
Talcott
Thank you.
house now.
You know what? I'll give my blessing if you want to silence the megafauna. He can't seem to control his impulses. I've talked to him about this.
I have to.
So you're finally now coming to the understanding of the vision I had from the beginning. That is not only shocking, but a cause for celebration.
Agreed.
Good cop, bad cop, right? Every good buddy cop movie we've seen from the beginning of time. There's Eddie Murphy and the white guy. We don't know the white guy, but you're the white guy in this case.
Jack, have you been thinking of? I know we talked about the Talcott house, and you just talked about the Paul thing. Good for you for bringing it up to Paul. I encourage that, but I also encourage the Talcott house and the Talcott dating. We will fucking hit it with the metaversal. We will fucking the bobbleheads ain't shit, dude. And you and the god of media right here, right?
Snafu.
Ooh-wee.
Snafu, you know my focus right now is just simply on breaking you down, breaking you apart. Conceptually,
get it
mentally, right? To help you see what you are.
Hey, did Paul show you my list? Can Paul show him my list?
Your list?
He has lists.
Apparently. Of course he does.
Of course he does. Holy cows!
Is it? You mean your Christmas list? Do you need to buy you stuff?
I don't understand.
You don't want to be on Snafu's list.
Hank, you talked about Christmas. It's a pagan holiday.
It's another day.
It's a pagan holiday, though.
Aren't most days?
Yeah. Pagans
Very
claim.
bad. Like that's like when people say amen, that's a deity. That's like a demonic god when they say amen. It's
Yahweh. I agree.
What if it doesn't matter?
But it does.
It does
What
matter.
if it doesn't
It
matter?
does. Like
The
how
question
can
is,
you
what if
say
it
it doesn't
doesn't though?
matter? It's specific in scripture. Do not be into sorcery,
No, you're
witchcraft.
not answering the question. He never
Those
answers
holidays
the
are
question, Mr.
ritualistic
Talcott.
witchcraft.
Never answers
No.
the question. I don't
Mattering is
understand.
subjective. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to Hank. It doesn't sound like it matters to Jack.
Yeah, it's
Is it
subjective.
possible that the meaning is greatly influenced by not only the intention but the results?
Meaning is by the intention and results. Potentially. I lost
Meaning,
track.
if I live a quote unquote godly, righteous lifestyle, regardless of what I'm calling it, my intention and my results are sound. Therefore, the words and terms wouldn't matter as much as the purpose and meaning. Does that make sense?
I lost it. I'm sorry. I'm sure it does make
All right,
sense.
let him go again. Maybe I can language this out differently because he's hung up on these, 1 and 2 dimensional words and terms and ideas, and not so much focusing on the 3rd dimensional cause and effect, which he himself is directly involved in.
The patterns, the behavior.
Right. The programs, the simulation, the games we're playing on ourselves and each other.
I believe the key is self-awareness or awareness of the present, like the self in the moment right now. Get out of the head, stop looping on the opinions and stuff, because our opinions don't matter. All that matters is the moment, and the moments flow. Just like the thoughts flow, the feelings flow, the people flow.
Jack,
Yeah.
you're literally giving me an opinion right now.
An opinion or an explanation of experience. And
You were also, while he's giving an opinion in a flowing way, we're showing his opinion in your impediment to his flow.
Yeah, thank you.
So again, we're in 1D, 2D, while you're not aware of the 3D. And this is
in
kind
my
of
imagination confused. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jack.
It showed your pattern of interruption, your pattern of confusion.
Andy's making it very unsexy.
I don't know. He's actually, I feel Snafu is presenting pretty darn well today, all things considered, compared to other times.
Still worse than everyone else.
Notice how he's on the attack, changing the subject. Go ahead, sir. Flow.
He's just messing. Snafu's messing with you, man. Come on.
Go ahead, Jack.
Well, I don't know where to go. Where were we at? Flow. The idea of flow, present, being in the moment, allowing the ideas to be, and choosing which ideas move us.
But what if his moment was manipulation, using you for clout?
Is that real, or did you just think of that?
I think I'm not the only one who thinks that. I bet if you did a poll, you'll find out Snaps ain't the only one who thinks that.
I think
your
that's
audience
literally
would be
everyone
like
on the
that.
panel right now, Officer
I'm
Snaps.
just telling
which
you,
would then give rise to the question of why he would concern himself more with what other people think about him and what he's doing, rather than what he thinks about himself and what he's doing.
That's true.
Kind of like what you're always exemplifying. Do you see how projection works?
That's true. See,
It
Daddy,
usually is. It's what I do, sir. I've made a whole thing out of it.
Talcott's, Daddy. I told you you'd save us. He's saving us.
Snafu.
You can save yourself,
You're totally in a different conversation.
It's actually a completely different reality if you want to be technical.
I agree with Paul.
Yeah. This is the crazy part of this experience we have is, yes, Snafu is living in a different reality where he makes a lot of sense to himself and maybe to others. But
I don't know about Snafu, but I live in my own reality. Yeah.
You what?
I live in my own reality that probably seems crazy to others, but I don't know about snafus because I've never until this period of time, unless I just don't remember have interacted with. Although I have heard a lot about him. I have heard a lot about him and Paul.
What have you heard about Paul and Snafu? Sorry, Jack.
Well, I haven't made shorts about snafu yet. Haven't got that far. There's a couple with Paul though.
You've made
and Jack
shorts
just made
about
one of my
Paul?
shorts today too.
Wait, what?
I said I haven't made shorts about snafu yet, so I haven't got that far into like watching I just watch stuff all the time. So I haven't got that far yet ever since I found Flo's channel. But Jack just made it. It's my short last 24 hours, 48 hours, something like that. That's good. Jack's awesome.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
There we go with the symbol.
I was worried where that was going for a moment, but
y'all are just mad whenever they get attention because y'all don't get attention like they get attention, and that's understandable. Y'all are not as cool as them. Sucks. We can't all be cool.
That's true. We're not all slow state. I mean, flow state.
no, we're not. You're right, Tarek.
That was a shot.
I missed it.
I know. Jack, I got a question for you, right? Let's just say we're all in the third dimension, like Paul was explaining. Like, let's just say we're all in there, right? Why can't we all work with each other? If you know, and I know, for example, I know for me at least, I don't hate or dislike anybody on a panel, and I always wish good on everybody. Why can't we work with each other if that doesn't matter, the opinions then? I think we should work with each other.
Right. We can work together. It's our opinions that keep us separated.
Can you work with Hank?
Yeah, even though I think he's a witchcraft, I can, and I'll stay at least 50 feet away from him so he doesn't do any, witchcraft stuff on me. But yeah, maybe he can do something. I don't know.
This is part of the problem is everybody's phrasing things in the future. We already are working here now. I've told this to Jack for a year and a half. He goes, we can't work together. I go, every time we appear together on screen, we're technically working together.
Technically.
Yeah. And Officer Tarek, you don't know my range of influence, so.
Hank, I swear to God, this is from the bottom of my heart. I have nothing but love for you, even though I think you're into some ritual stuff. That's your own thing. Or, flow state or anybody else. But maybe we can work with each other. But flow state. But maybe we can work with each other. I'm asking Jack, how do you think we go about that when we're only sometimes just basing everything on opinion and getting into these arguments?
We stop doing what the problem is. We stop getting into our opinions and focusing on arguments and actually just try to press into, hey, how can we cooperate? How can we co-create? What could we accomplish?
At the risk of speaking for Mr. Slow State, I believe the reason he's folding his arms is because he probably agrees with me in the fact that that's not the way to go about this.
You're reading too much into the folded arms. I actually wasn't even paying attention, really, to be honest.
Okay.
So, I don't
so
know
lack of flow state from Flow State. What else is new? You'll see him on his panel nightly. So I don't think that the way to go about this is
do the membership thing, Paul.
Yeah, best value ever is the allegation. One baseless fiat currency note a month will get you access to various clown-like emojis over at Slow State's panel. And you can watch him there nightly, chain smoke Marlboros, and watch the moonlight glisten off of his pale, scaly skin.
We'll cut out that last part, but I appreciate the rest of it.
Well, listen, I can only, you know me and my personality. I can only get so much of it done.
No,
it was better than I expected it to be. It'll make it short.
Aircraft lizard people, keep it in there. Don't cut that.
Okay, maybe I'll consider leaving it in. The problem is I'm inside, so there's no moonlight here.
It's for effect, right? I am the egoic narcissistic one, so it'd only be right that I insult you in my promotion to you. It's a bit of effect.
One of the narcissistic ones. I'm covert, so yes.
You're not covert. You brag about it.
No, I get self-esteem juice by being around other narcissists. but I can also get some on my own. So, are you a wizard? You're like wizard, Barbie.
The fuck just happened?
I don't have no clue.
He thinks we're all Team Evil.
Yeah. People are very bizarre, but they're actually far more simple than I think it appears. Well, that's not true. There's simple patterns that we each process. I mean, there's patterns to logic, there's patterns to emotions. Why did I start that?
How high is that, Jesus? Like, you've said that so many times.
Oh, well,
people keep distracting you. It's not cool.
No, I squirt.
You squirted?
The chat. It screwed my head.
The hell is going on?
I'm demonstrating how easily human beings can be distracted. Apparently. There are simple patterns to all of us, and and yet at the same time we are very complex creatures. But I know that
would you fair to say clever, better adjective for that? Not complex, very simple once the programs are identified, but seemingly clever, right? We seek to show other things and hide other things, it would seem.
Absolutely.
I agree.
It's a mystery. Well, and this is where I'll go back to the complexity, because people are a mystery. They're very, very clever. The point is, though, is I trust if we get within our will to use and take advantage of the opportunities we share together, the time together, I think we can do something real in this world. I just don't know exactly how it's going to happen. But I'm telling you, the world of the future is not going to be like the world of the past. My life sure is not, and that's because of my choices. And I encourage everyone else, consider those. Many people, actually, many of us have already been through a lot of development and taken some dark corners and dark streets. I think the future is going to be far greater than what we might have believed. Kind of betting on it, to be honest. I'm all in on this game.
30 years ago, would you have thought that we'd be where we're at now? Like, has that attitude been proven right over your lifetime?
30 years ago would have been 93. 93, I was transitioning from Germany to Korea as a young kid in the army. I was a very confused young man. The future, I thought the world was going to see far more wars than it did, but I had a different understanding of what wars were. And this was before I got it 30 years ago. Yeah, I think nothing is like I thought it was going to be. What about you guys?
30 years ago, I think I was pretending to be a Ninja Turtle.
That's right.
You still are. I saw your wardrobe last week with that shirt from Walmart.
Oh yeah, and I renamed everyone on the panel.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh my goodness.
30 years ago, I was a baby.
Well, and so in that vein, then yes, everything is basically exactly like I thought it would be because I'm still a Ninja Turtle, motherfucker.
God, I'm fucking old.
You sure are, Jack.
How did that happen? I was always like one of the young ones. I was, well, yeah, when I was young, I hung out with the older people. The young ones were stupid.
And they still are.
Yeah, that's the way I felt.
No, Jack, you got married. That's what happened. I mean, it happens to all of us. Even me. It ages sometimes. You got to get away.
Oh, the marriage
I've never been
didn't
married.
last long.
Yeah, I mean, it happens to all of us. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes we get into those relationships and we're not all, there ourselves, and then we get into all time looping situations that just, takes you backwards.
What?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about marriage. I mean, but that's okay. I yield. Don't worry.
You're saying marriage is a bad thing.
No, I didn't say it. No, I didn't say it was. I said.
I'll say this: we should try different contracts. So yeah, I'll say it is.
I'll
What
double
kind of
down on
contract?
that. State-sponsored marriage is a bad thing, but universe creates marriages seemingly because it attracts folks together and keeps folks together based on mutual choice. So
that's relationships. That is actually the key. And honestly, I truly believe that is the key to life. I was thinking, I don't remember the exact train of thought I was on earlier, but it was along the lines of how connected we are by what we learn. We learn so much from each other. We influence each other in different ways, whether we realize it or not. And then as we go through life, hopefully with consciousness, but I think we find others we admire, and then we kind of pick up some of their behaviors and patterns, whether we realize it or not. But the reason I'm amazed by that is it just shows to me the connectedness and connectivity that exists between us all. Even when we've not met, there's varying just levels of separation between us. And if we're all connected in some bizarre way, spirit or time, we might as well accept it. And if there is a connection, what can we do to nurture it? And
maybe not argue. Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, Tarek. That's not the way to
There
do
we go.
it.
See, like I can take a shot. Like some people get sensitive. Like you can say something towards me that may be offensive or whatever. I don't get mad. I may hit one back, but I don't get mad. You can do that. No big deal.
I've seen you get mad. You try really hard not to get mad, but I've seen it.
Oh, I got mad a couple times maybe, but not much. Just a little bit.
But at least you try, right? Like that's more than most people do.
Yeah, I try not to get mad.
But then you go around and you stir up the pot. You try to make other people mad. So.
Oh my god, that's what you think, man. But that's not what that's really going on. But yeah, we can go with that. You don't know the intention behind it, though.
Yes, I do. That's why you're making that nervous laugh.
No, maybe I'm bored. How's that? Would that work with you or no?
Is that what that nervous laugh is for? Here.
No, there's no nervous at all. I'm doing something while I'm actually talking to you.
Oh, you're saying that you're bored and that's why you stir the pot?
It's weird because he said he wanted to stop arguing and you cursed at him and wanted to create an argument. Now you're projecting your consciousness onto him.
Okay.
This is kind of weird to witness.
It's not a projection. He definitely does that, but you do have a point. I did start poking him the minute that he said he doesn't want to argue. So
because you're really uncomfortable with true love, but you're seemingly really comfortable with codependence and attachment.
Oh yeah.
Interesting.
It's not interesting. It's just another accusation like everything that comes out of his mouth.
Well,
hey, Daddy,
or it's a theme that I've noticed in your life over and over again. You could take it or leave it.
Yeah.
What do you mean by true love? I don't think I understand it. I think I'm aromantic. So
true care is a better way to put it.
True care.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
Love has been so overly romanticized by the culture, so I prefer care.
Yeah,
I love that you brought that up. Honestly, I was talking to someone earlier. Care, it is this society, this world, that's part of the conditioning. It's taught us not to care, or to selectively care, to only care about this person or only care about these people. That selective care creates our ignorance, because we're supposed to care. We are beings made from care and for care. We're made for love, man. I get care is the accurate word and probably more easily digested, but love is something I did not understand. I honestly didn't. I had to listen to the philosophies and explanations of others, and then spend a lot of time imagining it. And guess what I realized? It's through the power of our imagination that the Spirit and God serves us. It's through our mind. When we start imagining and understanding love, we can feel it. Just like when we start imagining imagining hate and fear, we can feel it. Fear is not normal, nor is hate. We're supposed to care.
It's not normal, but it is average.
It is average, but who wants to be average in a world of mediocre? Right? At best. I don't want to be average anymore. I used to want to just blend in and to fit in and just be left all alone so I could live my life and die alone like I wanted. Sound familiar?
I still kind of want to do that. Like, I still just want to sit over here and be my basic bitch self, doing my basic bitch stuff, which is whatever the fuck I want to do every day.
There's value
But
in
as long
that.
as it's not negatively affecting anybody, I don't see the harm in that. Like, if I was actually going, yeah, because this is what Team Evil does. Whenever Team Evil meets up, we're sitting around talking about how we can make the world a better place. Like, really.
Who's on Team Evil?
Me, I'm the Overlord. Don't you know?
Oh,
That's why I laugh about that.
that's a
It's just
Sanity
such a joke.
Machine reference, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had
Thanks for all Team Evil. And then I sit back and listen to all the different conversations that we have, or even ones that I'm not even a part of. And I listen to the other live streams that you guys are all on panel on. And I've learned stuff from each one of y'all, even about myself, just through seeing it like project from y'all. I'm not necessarily going to go into detail on all that. But like, for example, sometimes, Paul, no hard feelings. I want to throat punch the shit out of you sometimes. But I have to give you my respect, because you'll get up here on panel and you will be quiet while somebody else like attempts to rip you to shreds. And then you will speak your speech, and that's it. Whereas like the Sanity Machine, who we're talking about, he loves to come and get in your comments or your chats and talk mad shit. The second you try to get him to get up here and do what we're doing, that bitch ass motherfucker's gone like that. That is what I'm talking about. So if we're sitting around doing this and this makes us evil, I'll be Team Evil all motherfucking day long. I don't care. But sitting there,
I think you could just sum that up by saying that there's a lot of folks in life who are cowardly and deceptive, and I'm not one.
There you go. Good for you. I like that she brought up. She admitted authentically, and I'm sure there's many people, and Paul's aware of it. I want to throat punch him.
I mean,
but I bet they won't do it. That's the difference, right? See, the thing is, right? Anybody can think and feel how they want. It's usually an indication that something I've said is true or accurate, because the truth is what hurts. So it's probably a time for reflection. But if anybody is willing to come punch me in the throat, I'm here.
And see, and the fact that we can talk about it and laugh about it. That is like my end game out of all of that in the interactions I have. If we can talk about the disagreements that we have with one another and then laugh about it, then my job is fucking done, and I'm sleeping good that night.
I honestly think that's how simple life is supposed to be. If we have disagreements with each other, if we can, all right, we can find our humor again and, you know, get through it, even laugh at the disagreement or the situation. That's where healing happens, honestly. Laughter, when it's genuine and with care. But
like, I don't know very many people that laugh with the cops that arrest them while they're being arrested and all the way to picking, but I'm that person, so yeah. So like, there's not really a whole lot. The change in the minds thing, you're probably not going to change my mind on a lot of stuff. However, I'm more than happy to sit and listen to you explain yourself, and then maybe I'll reflect that on me and change something up about myself. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it don't. You can't really teach an old dog new tricks.
Talking about the police interaction, I mean, totally off the subject. I haven't had one of those in a while, and it's been since my mind has really changed. I mean, the last time I was pulled over, I got into a bit of rage. I didn't show a lot of self-control.
Tell the story.
I just punched the dash and went off. I was a dick to the cop because he was lying.
Did he arrest you?
No.
Did he taser you?
No. So it wasn't a big deal. Yeah. No. I mean, I guess I maintained composure enough to, you know, to not get taken away. But I was working a shift, whatever it was, till 2:30 in the morning. And so coming home from the post office at 3 in the morning, the bars close, you know, around that time, whatever it was. So the cops are out looking for drunks. I just got off a shift where I'd been arguing with supervisors and bosses and was already fired up about fucking authority harassing people. So I'm driving home and the cop flips around claiming my license plate was too dirty. I was like, you motherfucker, you're lying. But
and you couldn't ask him, could you clean it for me? I probably would have done something like that. Oh, okay, it's too dirty. Could you clean it for me, officer?
No, I that would have been a wiser choice, but I was arrogant and I got to feel good about yelling at people. And luckily I made it home that night. But this was before I understood too. I was quick to give them the license, the insurance and registration, and anyway.
So I'm arrogant too, but I have an assumption that if you have a problem for me, then you should fix it. If it's not my, I try to have other people fix my problems first before I do it. I end up doing my own fixes because people aren't just good at doing stuff. But I just assume, oh, you got the problem. Okay, you can resolve it first. At least that's exit the screen so I could protect my own time.
I like that idea, particularly with the public servants, but it could work with relationships as well. If people want to come and offer us complaints and insults, maybe they can have a solution to help fix the problem they found.
I mean, Hank does have sort of a point. If I don't know if I interpret it correctly or if I just projected my own experience onto it, but if you treat people, if you on first contact, you treat somebody like they're there to help you, they're a lot less likely to shift the social momentum the other direction than after that.
I like that.
Is that what you were saying, Hank? Or
affirmative, flow state.
There you go. Hey, Paul, I'm not sure if you're seeing the chat or if you've spoken to Random Fan about his work.
I'm not aware of what that's all about, Jack.
He's got some cool stuff. He's been making some buttons for some of the creators online. He talked to me briefly about his stuff. And earlier here, he was asking if you'd give him an autographed version of it.
I won't contribute to the destruction of property. If I sign, it'll be worth less than it would be unsigned. And I could get charged for that.
Oh, dude, this is the beginning days. I shouldn't say this, but it is true. I've handed out.
So come to me on my deathbed. The only way it'd be worth something is once I'm dead.
Or
No, Paul. You're worth way more to us alive than you are dead.
Right.
Oh, she rolled her eyes.
No, I meant to the people he wants to sell it to on eBay.
Look at Tarek's.
All the folks who've been waiting for me to fail.
I just got to roll her eyes. That's all. I wasn't trying to start trouble, man.
There's many who want to see us fail, but there are enough that want to see us succeed too. And so some autographed merchandise at this earlier stage, yeah, it can become value once you reach the rock star level, man. And like global notoriety, recognition, because of the amazing, incredible influence brought forth through the mainstream.
Your power lust is showing a little bit.
I've got a little bit of it.
A little bit of it. They told you yesterday you were quoting Hitler word for word. Your response was, "So what?"
Well, I still don't know the relevance just because someone else said it.
And that's why we have an issue with the post office and you. We don't have an issue. They have an issue with you. And we've been trying to reveal this to you.
Dude, I was thinking about those guys. What's that?
And he's just one of my children's fathers works for the post office, and he's super passive aggressive. Like you can't make him mad for nothing, like at all. I don't know what you can do to trigger that man. I really don't. He's the most like ever. Except if you probably mess with our daughter, that would probably. I mean, normally that would trigger any dad, I would think.
Hey, listen, Paul. You leave Jack alone. He's a good person.
Look, if you're looking at like start another fake controversy, I'm not in the mood tonight.
The only one fake here is your chimpanzee looking ass.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Drive Rage Monday.
You're loved, MC Nemesis. I'm sure
joking.
someone in your life or something loves you, right?
I'm just saying.
I'm trying to reassure
I was
you.
checking out some cop flicks earlier, and dude, I tell you, Jack has become somewhat of a celebrity.
Jack was supposed to be bringing sexy back. I don't know what the hell the rest of y'all are doing.
I'm copying off of Jack's homework.
Sexy is coming back. We are having fun.
Jack, and this legitimate question, do you have an inner circle of individuals in your real life that you confide with? Or are you like me and you're searching for that group, like your circle's not big enough yet?
MC Nemesis only has his goats and chickens.
That's the only thing that'll let him fuck them.
These
and
are
even
false
that's a
allegations.
I used to have a wonderful support structure, a small circle of friends. But yeah, these days I'm looking for connections. I'm looking for community. Where do I fit in these days?
There's an NAAA meeting on Spokane. I just looked it up. I'm pretty quick with the Google.
They don't like me either because I'm too positive. I come in there, I'm all
right, strike that. I don't know. I guess we're back to the drawing board then.
The answer is simple. He just needs to come on over to MAGA and we can have a MAGA party.
Okay, there's a bridge on 34th Street. The cross street is Main, Spokane. You might want to try there. They have a really lax set of conditions.
I thought I was Southern. Honey, where are you from?
Hickory. I'm from Hickory,
Like,
North Carolina.
Oh, that's why. Oh, that's why. That's not far.
We can
Hickory,
only
North
hope if Kim Jong-il launches a mission, it'll be sent to Hickory, North Carolina, or wherever it is you just said you're from.
Yeah, we have a hickory in Pennsylvania too.
The
Until
irony
we
of the
have
word
the
hick
internet.
being in the actual descriptive name of the town.
Until we
Makes
had
some
the
sense
internet,
of
we
humor.
didn't know that there was a bunch of inbreds in South Carolina, but since MC Nemesis, it's clear.
No, I ain't inbred. I know that one for true.
No, you just believe Donald Trump's the second coming.
No, I
Which
don't.
will
That's
do.
an exaggeration. You
That'll
know
do
that
in a
I
pinch,
just,
right?
We're from the South, don't mean we do that.
you know where I'm at with that, and that's a non-issue. Where I'm at in other issues is like, I mean, I have a pretty good life when I don't worry about politics or nothing. Like I just chill out
Yeah, that's
and
what
write
I'm
my
talking
music and shit.
Or your cholesterol.
Yeah, it's lowering.
That would be you, Paul.
All right. So
Have you checked your A1C lately?
I don't know. Hey, I'm glad to hear. Yes, life is pretty good when we don't involve ourselves with some of the staged politics and all the drama that's on the media. The other part of this, though, is we can become willfully ignorant in our own little prison, in our own little comfort zone, pretending like the rest of the world isn't happening. And maybe that's my place. Maybe that's not for everyone else.
It makes most sense to pay attention to the things that we can influence or have impacts on. So it makes actual sense for people to ignore the problems outside of their reach to address the problems within their reach.
Okay, I agree to some extent. The other side of this, though, is we've all got a lot more power than we think through the systems that are set up and available for us to use.
Hey, could you help me set up my WIC card and my EBT card and stuff?
Sure. What do you need help with?
No, I just figure if we're going to start using the powers that we have available, might as well start there, right?
He's making a joke. They don't give WIC cards to children.
I'm not saying that I have either one of them, but I have knowledge.
Well,
never mind. Disregard that. I yield.
Yeah, what I'm talking about is actually through, especially through organizations, through businesses, churches, we can get groups together to communicate and call the people who are in the elected positions, call them to task.
You realize that's what's created all the problems, right?
I know but this is part of what I see is no one's accepting responsibility. Everyone's just focusing on blame. But
I actually am. And that's where like responsibility and accountability comes in on the ground. You know, the whole rights, freedom, principles, spiritual faith thing. If you don't exercise it, you don't have it.
What I'm talking about is holding the employees and the governments accountable, responsible for their jobs. Now, the systems that are designed to do that, they're designed to protect the people within the system. But we can use the people within the system and use the system together, I believe, to bring reform.
So that's like fighting cancer with more cancer.
Well, it's at least facing the cancer instead of pretending it doesn't exist while it still consumes the rest of the world.
I might have cancer and I'm pretending it doesn't exist. I think that's great.
Hey, it works until it doesn't. And I mean, and this is the other thing. I don't judge anyone. Everyone is, I used to think more people should think like me, but everyone's on their own path. You know, someone's path is to be homemaker, to bake cookies, put out floral stuff. whatever. And then there's
the
other
FEMA camp has a position for every tradesman and tradeswoman.
So does America.
God bless capitalism.
That's what I meant.
All right, the FEMA camp of America. It is. The residents have to pay for everything too. It's fucking hilarious.
At least the FEMA camp's free, right?
Right.
We got a bad deal here.
We're getting gypped. I don't know. I just know that there is a way to change this. And if there's any way I can be a part of changing it, the world, I want to try.
Yes, Jack, you can. And we're going to do this for the 1,000th time. It happens in changing yourself and your life.
It started with me a while ago. I am actually a changed man, believe it or not. It's the one from the past that was bad. Margot, what is the way? The way is the truth.
He said enigmatic me.
I think it sucks, right? Because like you got to chase money. You got to be a capitalist in order to survive. And you know what? Not everybody is supposed to be a capitalist, by the way, but we're all forced to be a capitalist. So we all got to have a cutthroat personality and be willing to take it from the next man. I mean, it's a terrible.
He's got to be. This is what I mean. He's got to be doing a bit, or this is why we're so fucked, because he's like perfect with saying so many wrong things all strung together and make it seem like there was a point behind it.
Oh, not every capitalist survives. MC Nemesis.
He's being honest too.
I can't buy it. I can't. He's doing a bit where he's overplaying the hick part of himself because he knows it's.
No, he's not. That's how he sounds. Are you serious?
No, I'm not saying the sound. I'm saying like the just stereotypical, aloof, gullible, naive, worldly.
What makes you think that I'm gullible or naive? I'm very intelligent.
You are. Nemesis, I agree. Well, I won't give you too much credit because of what I've seen from you in the past, but you do have some intelligence. You've been seeking, I can tell. You've been seeking answers and trying to find questions. But Paul, this is the world. This is an honest man, I think, being honest about what he's learned so far.
Shocking.
Well,
okay, well, let me explain something to Paul. Like, it's different, man. Like when you come from the South, like this is Freemason country, and well, I just don't know what to tell you. Like in the cities, you guys are slaves, but I'm a free man. I mean, I'll just tell you, I own land in my own house. I mean, I'm a free man, Paul.
Do you pay taxes on it?
Well, yeah.
Then you don't own it. See how easy that was?
You do own it.
See how easy that was? Ownership implies bearing all the burden, the obligation, the responsibility, and the accounting. You don't have that. Someone manages your estate and requires tribute for usage of that estate.
Paul,
you are the definition of socialism and feudalism, and you don't even know it.
The taxes pay for the roads of the dump and the kids, and
here we go. What's the state and federal income tax for if your property tax pays for it? You got to pick something and limit it to that, or is it just every piece of tribute you pay to the state of corporations for the roads and everything else? It's laughable. No, that's for the wars worldwide, the slavery and genocide campaign they just did on you for the last 3 years. Where have you been? That's what you paid for. You didn't pay for roads. The roads are more fucked up than ever. Have you ridden around anywhere?
Not my roads. My world's different than yours because I live.
Yeah, your world's different than mine. You keep telling yourself that.
I live in the country.
You live in the world, and the world has been subjected to the last 3 years, if you know what I'm saying, and there's going to be consequences.
No, it's called God's country, the South, the Mason-Dixon.
Okay.
I live
God's country has given themselves over to Shaitan long ago. Where have you been?
You're full of shit, bro.
I don't know. Like, how am I a slave if I own a house and land?
Because you're in contract with the same system that you support and pay into, and then choose a master of, because you're not master of yourself in your own domain.
You're supposed to live with your girlfriend, MC Nemesis.
Well, there's very
Again, I don't know where me staying with Jennifer has anything to do with how I live. You're projecting again. You're the one who the
Well,
report
I'm
is lives in
assuming
your
that you're
mama's house
implying
with
that
your
you are
girlfriend because
free.
you can't afford to own anything
I
outright.
assume that you're
No,
implying
this
that
is
you are
my
free
house.
when you call other
I
people
own it.
slaves.
Yes.
Again, we're not going to go over for the millionth time that I have land and I have a trailer there and we're working on putting water and power and everything else there. It's a process, and I've been doing very well aside from that. I'm debt free and self-sufficient. So I don't know where me staying at Jennifer's house in order to help sell it and
Somebody
her
else pays
move
your property
on.
taxes.
Tell you what,
Excuse me?
I'd like to kind of move on from where we were. I mean, congratulations to you, Nemesis, for
Slow state. Your
Jack,
jealousy and
can
envy
we
is showing. You
discuss?
might want to
Okay,
get a handle on that.
are
Hold on.
taxes should taxes be forced or not? That's the question.
No, they should not. Okay, and this world. Congratulations. Number one, if you own property and you're out of debt, congratulations. You know, yes, the tax system is still corrupt. It is still a way of being subservient to the system, but we don't all have to be criminals, and we don't all have to accept what's going on either. We can find our own ways together, and I think the solution is to correct the systems. To at this point, with the direction the dollar is going, with already the printing of the dollar that's been, there's the true effects of the inflation and the stuff. It really hasn't hit us quite yet the way that it potentially could. Then you combine all the other maneuverings to weaken the US dollar and this idea of that we should be investing in gold. Guess what? The bankers already own the majority of it. So we're just back to playing their stupid rules again. So I actually don't think it's time for, you know what? It's a time for everything. For the people that are feeling guided to get out and create a homestead for themselves and others, building a community, I encourage that. There's a lot of organizations and groups that are doing this. So, you know, the common mindset is everyone's got to learn everything on their own. That's a partial truth, but there's a lot of resources available. People sharing things they've already accomplished as far as all sorts of things related to gardening, you know, preparing for the future and self-sufficiency. There's a ton of information out there. My idea, though, is I know there's got to be, I know there is, I know for a fact there's more people who think like me that we can attack, we can use, confront, deal with the system, reform the system. That's what I'm focused on doing. I think we can. Just don't know how yet.
It's not like anybody's actually shown how to do any of this stuff, huh?
Well, it depends. There's a lot of people showing a lot of different things. I've been learning a lot regarding ways to create the trust, ways to maneuver and shift your properties so it's safer and more protected from the criminality of this society. But really what it comes down to, property is property, man. People are what are important. That's why we care about property, is to care about the people, ourselves, and those who we want to
Hey,
care
Jack,
for.
have you ever heard of genetic theory? And have you ever heard of the black pill incel community?
I'm not sure. What brought
So
that
here's
to
the
your
problem that we face, and it's a core problem with humanity. What you gonna do? Okay, like you are what I would describe as a normie. You could tell that just by looking at your face. You ain't no incel. You not deformed. What if I told you there's a whole group of people? There's a lot of people called incels, and these people are the cause for a lot of stuff. It is in genetics that they hate women because women will not serve them. They are known as the beta males of the society, and they often do shootings like Elliot Rodger or just.
Are you the spokesperson for that group?
No, but I would like to bring awareness to Jack about my theory about. I don't know if we can live in peace with the incels, considering what they want, they cannot have.
Well, that's why I'm here, sir.
Fascinating.
He's a little slow on the uptake.
What they want, they cannot have. They want these model-esque women. They want today, and that's all they want in life, Jack. They don't want money or nothing.
Dude.
They just want the love of a model, but they're not a model themselves, and they do nothing.
There's some of them on panel with you right now. They call themselves ladies' men.
I don't think anyone here is an incel, Paul.
Well, here.
Yeah.
It's not involuntary celibate necessarily, but unactualized, unrealized on many levels and projecting almost consistently.
Here's something I'd like you to consider, though. You said there's not people you're describing here on the panel, yet the conversation was not about incels. You brought them up as though with the belief that you can't get along with them, with the people you imagined. I don't understand, dude. I mean,
well, it all starts when the incel, Jack. See, what happens is an incel can't find a woman.
So what?
So then they start hooking up with gay hookers, and and
that
fine,
gives way to starting panels, and that's the thing. Like, he's on to something.
Well, and what I'm trying to say is, like, you're perpetuating the gay hookers. You know, so there's more gay hookers.
No.
Asking for $1 a month in memberships. It's a downhill slide after he's on to something, Jack. I thought he was a complete pig creature, and I still think he is, but like Snafu, he's routed up something. He's rooted up something.
Paul, okay, you like to hurl insults, but I asked you, why do you do it? Why do you?
Oh, I wasn't being insulting. I was observing and reporting. That's the thing that always gets lost in translation.
He was being preemptively defensive.
He was encouraging, I thought.
I just think that Paul
Thank
is
you,
an
Jack.
angry fellow, and I don't know why. If he does own a trailer and land, and he should be happy, but he seems miserable. I just don't think that Paul is happy.
And that's
Like
the
Jack,
thing is you have a list of things where you say seems, and it's never quite what it seems with folks like you.
That could be.
Like Donald Trump seems to be the best choice for your rights, freedom, principles, spiritual faith. Upon reflection, not so much.
Nah, dude, I just think it's a game. Like, look, Donald Trump, like, if I had to vote, right? And if
I
I
seem
probably
to
will
own
vote.
my own house and land, but I have to pay tribute tax to my masters. So upon reflection, not what it seems.
I know it's political theater, but who do I think's doing the look? I watch pro wrestling, so I know all about theater.
What are the
Now, I
odds
tell
that
you
you
right
talk
now,
about
Donald
incel?
Trump
What are
is
the
a
odds
great-
any woman is going to want to be around you for any prolonged period of time?
Donald Trump is a great pro wrestler. Remember, he was at WrestleMania 23.
Oh my God! Who gives a fuck? Are you kidding me about Donald Trump being a wrestler?
He is.
He was at WrestleMania 23 with Bobby
Yes,
Lashley. Do you know
yes,
who
you
Bobby
are.
Lashley is?
Yeah, some of us would
we
know
know
that
Bobby
because we're
Lashley is.
grown and we don't watch WrestleMania. There's a shocker, huh?
Yes, we don't
Well,
watch
I'm
that
only
shit
30
anymore.
years old, so
Some of us
WrestleMania
also don't wear
23.
Ninja Turtles t-shirts from Walmart. I mean, I got a
If you
list
don't
of stuff
fit
we
in
could
them.
go over.
Okay, what's wrong with the Ninja Turtle? Because my wife does like.
It's not what's wrong with the t-shirt. It's what's wrong with the wearer.
They don't
You
make
see,
them in
it
big and
seemed
fat.
like I was
Okay,
insulting the
what's wrong with
t-shirt.
the
I was
Teenage
pointing out a
Mutant Ninja
problem
Turtles?
with the wearer.
Okay, what's wrong with my wife that there's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles if she likes to wear a shirt like that?
He
There's
was
an
talking about
extreme
me.
lack of consciousness, awareness, and confident in oneself and ability for good reason.
You brought up incels and he started getting defensive because he's terrible with women, and I've told him that, and so he's
I thought he had a girlfriend. He said he's living with a woman.
We're not sure if he just won't leave. It's up in the air.
That's kind of funny. Nemesis, though, the other side of this is you've presented yourself, you've found some ideals within yourself, you've identified yourself previously as a conservative and as a Christian. And
That's hard.
the positions you've chosen for yourself have been this us versus them, though. And you're trying to create some superiority, and you presented the case as though these incels you imagined, you can't find peace with them. And I'd like to say that most of the state of the world right now is acting in a state of confusion. And the confusion is when we think we're better than others.
I mean, I basically figure out the purpose in life, basically. So I think what the purpose in life is, after listening to the Daily Wire, like, religiously, is just having kids, just having kids
No,
and
oh my God.
What?
just, raising a family. That's wait, what's wrong?
Keep going.
Like, just,
Carry on.
raising a family and just loving your family, building a family. That's what I think the purpose of life is, like connecting with individuals, synchronizing with your community. What do you think, Jack? Is that the purpose of life?
Purpose of life is to grow and to discover who we can become, to know God, to know life, to know God, to know life, to know love. That's why we're here. Part of that includes having babies, but I don't think that's the totality. And actually, that idea is kind of a materialistic mindset. Focus on the material, on the physical.
Well, no, Jack, it's not material. It's only God can create life. So God has given you something whenever he gives you a baby. So it's God's gift to us is babies. That's what God
What about
gives
when he
to us
takes
to
them?
give us joy.
What about when
He
he
gives
takes
us
them?
joy.
Yeah, what about when he
What
takes it?
about when he takes your baby?
We
The
can't
Lord
know
giveth and
what.
the Lord taketh away. I will praise him either
Don't do
way.
that.
And so, but you
That's
support.
why we argue.
Okay, so here's the hypocrisy I see of some of the conservative Christians, and you're presenting it. You're very pro-life when it comes to the babies, yet what about when it comes to war? Donald Trump certainly didn't do much as far as diplomacy, as far as
He did more than anyone, and I'm not even a Donald Trump fan, but that's just wrong.
You think he?
I think that he stopped. I think that he ended more conflicts than any president in my lifetime.
I disagree. I know that's
It's
the
not a
narrative.
matter of agreement. It's just and we can look it up. I could be wrong, but
It's just pure foolishness. He signed on to do war on all the American people in the name of safety. Where were you?
He murdered the Iranian general.
Right. He did one.
Yeah,
he did one
Flow
strike.
State. I don't think these people care about like facts. They just care about like.
Right, we don't care about the fact that the American people with supposed God-given rights were locked down like prisoners.
Well, and that too.
Here's where I check out. I'm not interested in what any of the morons think, and they're not interested in any new information to correct their thinking. So I'm going to let you guys go, or rather, I'm going to take my leave. I got dinner on the table. I'll see you folks later.
Have a good
Do you really need that? Do you really need that?
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate it. I've enjoyed the time, and actually, I'm feeling kind of I'm feeling about done too. So I may be maybe shortly behind you. Thank you, Paul. And Nemesis, let's come back. You just made a claim. Are you going to stand behind your words that this is a place that doesn't care about the truth? You coward. Is that what you're really going to say?
I think that you care about the truth, but I don't think that you're like the man just told you. Like, there's things that are subjective. There's things that are facts. Like Donald Trump. Like, I agree with you. He's a bad character. He's done a lot of bad things, but he did do a lot of positive things. So you like there are policies. Well, okay, there's political
he did
theater.
some good things. He has done some horrible things that he has not accepted responsibility for. He's not accepted accountability for, just like the majority of other politicians. There's nothing that separates him from the others except this clown reputation that people want to imagine. He's somehow different. Dude, for you to come onto this panel
Two choices,
your
Jack.
praise of Trump and then to belittle the men and women like us here, dude, you're a fool. I don't mean to be like that to you because I know you're a nice guy. As a matter of fact, let me back up.
Here, let me just give you my logic here, and I hope that you could change my mind. There's two choices. My choice is Donald Trump, and I'm going to find every way to support that because the only
You
other
don't have
Trump
a choice,
is
though.
Joe Biden.
You don't have a choice,
You're
though.
wrong.
I mean, you watch wrestling or it's in time. I mean, it's theater.
It's theater.
It is theater. Yeah, he's right.
Okay,
And
well, I mean, it might be.
theater.
Yeah, I know it's theater, but
How about-
still.
How about
But
this
still.
too, Nemesis? Please, this is an. If you accept and you can kind of consider where you're at, I want you to try and realize this panel is not like most of the others that's picking a side in the politics or anything like that. If you're going to resolve yourself that you only have the two choices to choose from, brother,
Right
if
in
you listen,
Talcott.
if you listen and learn what is being discussed here is alternatives and ways that we can expand the options, not just for ourselves, but for the other people in this land that we care about.
And dude, that just made the whole state look bad. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, that was pretty
What
terrible.
do you mean? Like I made the like you make your state look bad, but anyways,
But
I'm from North
Jack,
Carolina,
Jack
dipshit.
wants to get out of here, so I'm gonna say thanks for everything. You guys are awesome. Peace.
Moose, you're a trooper. We appreciate you.
Respect, Moose. Thank you, brother.
So, see, look, like people want to put me down and stuff, but like nobody can really refute what I'm saying.
Down.
Well, actually, Nemesis.
Like you're saying there's alternatives, but and I'm saying what are those alternatives? And you're saying just hang around. Can you summarize what the alternative is?
The alternative is
For Christ's sake, I would vote for Paul before I would vote for Trump. Are you serious?
Voting for anything but the two parties. It's like you might as well not even vote if you vote for anything but one of the two.
It's all
Your vote's not
foolish.
going to
The
matter.
whole thing is a placebo activity.
Yep.
It's a fucking play, man. And I'm sorry, Jack, to interrupt real quick, but that's my opinion only. All the people that are politically like very involved, they're brainwashed. The same thing with the people that are very dogmatic in terms of religion. The same thing. They won't change. They're just brainwashed. That's just my opinion.
You're pretty dogmatic with your moral policing.
I'm not. You're very wrong. I'm not.
Yes, you. Okay.
Oh, God. No.
You may think so, but I'm not.
Well, it was sexy. I mean, I thought it was going to be sexy.
Here's the only problem. If I'm right, everybody wins. If I'm wrong about the way I believe,
I would have this motherfucker blown up.
if I'm wrong, Jack, everybody loses. So, in my opinion,
it's about opportunity cost. The opportunity cost of paying attention to national politics is that you're putting your time and attention in something that is ultimately just a sitcom.
It is a sitcom that affects all of us.
Yeah.
In different ways.
Listen. I understand the metadata of what you guys are trying to do. Listen, on the internet, the way we communicate with each other is by politics. Nothing is more trending than politics, or it could be a game or something else.
All right. Yep, you're all about the numbers.
You got to pick. No, well, it's not about that. It's like you got to pick the topic, right? And if I wanted to get huge, Jack, all I'd have to do was do like No Live Shack and just fake my reactions. I could easily get views. No, I'm trying to find a true purpose, and getting involved in politics
Yeah.
gives me some sort of purpose. It might not be
Well,
real, but I feel like it's real.
yep. It's a feeling, and that's what it's there for. People get involved. They become cheerleaders for their favorite celebrity politician, and they get very attached to them. They even feel crushed when their favorite choice doesn't win. It brings people the illusion of being a part of doing something about it, but really just arguing politics with people online or with people that's not really doing a lot, dude. I mean, that's what people have been doing for a long time. So what I'm suggesting is, it's a little bit different. And I don't know. What I'm suggesting is probably different for everybody in different ways. The main thing is that people start to learn how to stay present and to be more caring, more loving, more honest, authentic. As people stay more present and focused with a purpose on a better world, we're going to create it.
A better world for who? I told you. If you want it, the incels don't care about anything they
All right,
want.
go worry about your incels somewhere else. I'm gonna wrap this up, my friend. Thank you. Okay.
Jack, well, Jack, thank you for having me. I'm gonna get out too as well. Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, respect, Tarek.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep, you too. Bye.
And I didn't mean to offend MC Nemesis, but he seems like a good guy. He's got his beliefs in it, and he's learning. He's figuring them out.
Was it?
But holy cows! I appreciate you guys being here. You guys helped make it sexier today.
Yeah, thank you, Jack. I don't think that you count as an incel either. You seemed a little bit not like you're not liking that. So you're divorced. Like, we know that you've had sex. That's not even with a black woman.
Dude, I am involuntarily celibate.
I could see that you were pushing back on it a little bit, and I don't think that shoe doesn't fit you. I don't think dry spells and incels are different things.
I know. I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate it. Are you doing anything later, Flo? I don't know. Today's
I don't know. Should I? I'd be.
Yeah,
I mean,
go.
where did MC Nemesis go? I kind of want to hear more about this incel thing. Go ahead and do your wrap up thing. MC Nemesis, if you're here and you want to come over and talk about the incel thing, then I will. But yeah, go ahead and do your wrap up thing.
All right. Respect. Thank you, Flo. Barbie, thank you, sister. I appreciate what you brought too. I'm gonna, whoops, were you saying something? I didn't mean to do that. She took off. Okay. Brothers and sisters, thank you again for joining. All of those who joined the panel today. Sunday fun, a little sexiness, a little sexy talk. The idea is some faith. We had some great conversations on relationships, communication, spirituality, governments, all sorts of things. And above all, I see wonderful human beings here on the panel and in the chat. Oh, I just realized I didn't really give a lot of credit or attention to you guys in the chat today, but thank you for your appreciation, your participation, and your understanding. We're all growing and learning in this life together. And this life that we are sharing, brothers and sisters, think about this, just the logical observation. When we're bored and we're, worried, depressed, life just kind of creeps by. Time just crawls, especially when you're not feeling good or, energetic. When you're worried, time is crawling. But you know what? When you feel good, time flies. And these lives we've been given, they're actually pretty short. It seems like a long time that we get to live, that we get to have a career, we get to have a family, we get to have a relationship. But these things, they come and go just like that. Life is change. And the change of life, it can break you down. It can make you regret. I've lived it. I regret ever being living. And that's not a fun way to live, especially when you're telling yourself you're surviving. You're doing the best you can. Maybe you are. But if you want to survive, maybe it's time to really dig deep and choose to grow and expand and maybe live. And when we live, man, that's where the adventure starts. Life is where it's at. You know, I'm going to wrap it up. Brothers and sisters, thank you again, sincerely, from my heart to your ears. I appreciate all who joined, and please do the subscribe. I preempted it. I interrupted myself. God bless. Do the subscribe thing. I may or may not do the subscribe and notification, but just be prepared, mentally prepared. There may be a pause coming up soon. There's going to be a reevaluation, rededication, and I'm going back and looking at me again. So there may be an interruption, but I'm not forecasting. I'd like the future to be a surprise for us all. And thank you again, brothers and sisters, all who joined. Choose love, peace for everyone, and live without fear. God bless us all. Thank you.